all the regulations, their certificates, all on my end, walk you guys through, because I've seen a lot of people say, well, I can't get to this, or I don't know how to view this. It's not showing correctly on my end. And some other checks that I have done as well for me to be confident enough to invest with Intelligence Prime Capital. So that's what this is all about. For all the haters out there, you guys can keep on hating. I am just showing you guys the information that's available to me, the checks that I go through, and then in the end, you guys can make the decision on your side. So let's go ahead and jump into the new business model. If you guys want this, reach out to me on Telegram and I will send this new business model PDF to you. So we're talking about Intelligence Prime Capital. Now these guys are registered, well first, okay, so they have their risk disclaimer, okay, great for Forex trading. I'm only really going to cover the parts in here that I personally feel are important. So I'm not just going to read through this and then that's going to be my video. I don't think that's very important. I think we need more discussion and due diligence of looking through and seeing what's going on. They're talking about the Forex market. So I'm just going to skip through here. Intelligence Prime, they talk about their company. Really, the only part here is that these guys are registered as a fintech company. So, fintech innovation. So they have leveraged AI trading systems that we'll talk about, and some other things that they plan to come out with this year and next year as well. And then we'll talk a little bit more about their bot system. They cover a little bit briefly, saying average win rate of 97% after several months of testing. We'll go into results. They're all over the world. Okay, so here we go. So certificates. These guys claim they are registered in Canada. Here's their certificate. This is their registered address. Now, something to note that they have come out and said is, yeah, this is just our registered office. This is not their main office or their main HQ. They just said that they don't want, this is what they've told us. So I'm telling you guys what hasn't been explained to me. They just don't want their main HQ known to the public. They said their main worry was if people knew their main server IP and all of that, then they don't want anything to happen to their current bot, how they have things running with their AI system. Okay, so, oh, right. So let's go ahead and actually verify this on our end because I want you guys to do your own due diligence and you can do all of this on your end as well. So we're going to check, okay, are they actually registered in Canada? So I kind of did all of this, prepped it up on my end. So I'm going here on Google and I'm typing in Canada Business Corporations Act Registry. So we can see here after that, and then I'm just clicking on the top one, and it's going to bring me to their site. Then it says search for federal corporation, and hey, let's just put in Intelligence Prime Capital. We don't even need their corporation number. Let's search for them and see if they come up. Okay, and what we see here is Intelligence Prime Capital. Let's click on this, and we can see their status is active. Governing legislation, Canada Business Corporations Act, and then this corporation number matches with the one seen in the PDF. So if we see it 1307196-1, 1307196-1. So that matches up, guys. And then you can also see here, this is apparently the CEO, Harry Offord. We'll cover the founders or the executives here in a little bit, but if you ever wanted to know, I don't think this guy is public, but that is who it is under, is Harry Offord, if that's how you say his name. But you guys can see here they registered in June, so June 2nd. That's when they got their certificate and everything here. So from what I can see on this end, guys, the registration is legit. So let's go back to the PDF and go to the next one. So this one is with FinTrack. Okay, so Financial Transactions and Reports Analysis Center of Canada. That's what FinTrack stands for because they're registered in Canada. So let's just talk a bit about what even is FinTrack? And I'll read this here. So it says that they're an independent agency that reports to the Minister of Finance and is responsible to the Parliamentary Activity Center. So they facilitate detection, prevention, and deterrence of money laundering, financing of terrorist activities, while ensuring the protection of personal info. Let's see. So record keeping, KYC, and the development of compliance plans. So these guys make sure businesses that are in Canada, there's no money laundering, there's no terrorist activities, which so that would include fraud-like activity, that would include dirty money handling, all of that kind of stuff, as well as record keeping, KYC, making sure. So this is where the KYC is coming from. So Intelligence Prime Capital, they do have a KYC when you sign up, you need to submit typically it's your front and back uh, ID picture. So you need a picture of your front and back in order for you to withdraw and really move anywhere with Intelligence Prime Capital and their bot system and start earning. Okay, so this is a little bit about FinTrack. So let's go into their registration with them being regulated. I guess not. I guess maybe it is considered regulated, registered. Same thing, I guess. So you could click on this link. If you guys have this PDF, you could click on it. Now, why click on it if you can verify on your end? So let's go and verify on our end on FinTrack so we can make sure, okay, we're not getting to some weird site that they happen to make, some full-on website just for FinTrack to try and fool us. So let's go to Google and see what's coming up. So if I type in Google FinTrack Money Service Business MSB Registry Search, type something like that, it's going to be the top one. Now, guys, don't be confused by these numbers here or whatever, this www10, or because even in their PDF, people are like, oh well, it's got some other weird stuff in there. Like, this is how FinTrack has their site, so don't be Nazis about this. This isn't an ad either. There's no ad icon here. So if we click on this, we're hitting FinTrack's actual site. So we get to this search registry section. Okay, so let's try searching by their name again, and let's see what shows up. Okay, guess what? They show up, so let's click on them. This is good. We can see that they're registered, Intelligence Prime Capital, and then this registration number, 0237, I'm looking at the last four just to make sure. 0237, okay, there we go. So that matches up there as well. You guys can even call FinTrack. They're probably not going to give you details about their clients, but you can ask them and see, what's up? What do you guys do? The kind of things you cover. We did read about it earlier in this PDF, but hey, guess what, guys? We can confirm on our end that this is legit. So again, they're using their registered office and this telephone number. I think these are all just like registered like for the location and the number. Like it's not their actual like main office or anything like that. Like I said, it's specifically just for registering. But we can see here that these guys, their MSB activities. Okay, so what are they registered as? So foreign exchange dealing. Okay, we're in the foreign exchange market here, money transferring, dealing in virtual currencies. So these guys are making sure, and from what I understand, these guys are sending all like their financial reports and all of that to FinTrack to making sure nothing is going on with Intelligence Prime Capital in regards of money laundering, terrorist activities, so fraud-like behavior, and all that kind of stuff. So there we go for the FinTrack. Great, we can verify that on our end, and I'm showing you guys how to get to this all on your end. You don't even need to click on the links that they provide, which I feel is convenient, but it's also good to do your own due diligence and check on your side and see if you can actually get to it and look them up. So that is for FinTrack for Canada. And guess what, guys? They have another one in the US. So this one's a digital asset regulatory license. Okay, so what is that? Let's read a little bit here. What exactly, why do they even have this? So this license is a financial license supervised and issued by FinCEN. Okay, so Financial Crime Enforcement Bureau, an agency under the U.S. Department of the Treasury. License for businesses and companies engaging in financial services. So that's good. We don't get any shutdowns in the US if they're doing services here that they shouldn't be without first getting certified and licensed to do so. So that is good news. So you guys see here that they now I've heard, okay, well, all of this could all just be fluff and fake stuff. Okay, maybe it is. But if that's the case, then I don't know what to believe in anymore, right? So this is the facts that I have. This is the facts that Intelligence Prime has gone through um, to get their company registered, to get their activities licensed. They have to go through all of the checks, and each of these companies, so FinTrack and US MSB, they have to look at all the stuff that they're giving them, and things have to check out. Things have to look good before they give them the stamp of approval and to say, yep, okay, you're certified. Now we need to make sure that we follow these rules or criteria or whatever moving forward. But this initial part here that they're showing us is, yeah, we went through all the checks. It's not like the FinTrack and US MSB, it's not like they're just handing these out like candy. They do have their own checks that they go through. So for US MSB, um, companies engaged in related businesses must apply for an MSB license. Okay, so this is what they claim that they've done in order to legally engage in digital asset management and transactions. So I had someone actually yesterday because I wasn't sure about this. Most of this stuff, like this is the first time I'm getting into more of the weeds, the nitty-gritty of this kind of stuff. And someone asked me yesterday, hey, what about like the SEC? Like I'm worried that like with them coming down, like cease and desist orders. I know for um like because I was pretty big back in crypto in 2017, and I got into all those trading platforms, BitConnect and every like there were just so many alternatives kind of that came up afterwards, and all of these were getting cease and desist letters from the SEC and all of that. Now, Forex, from what I understand, is not um, covered by the SEC. This is not their space um, to be in and to regulate. So Forex is not a security. Foreign exchange is not a security. So that's why it goes through FinCEN, and Intelligence Prime Capital claims that they got licensed through them. So let's go ahead and check and see if the relevant party that regulates this space, if this is actually legit. So US MSB, okay, so let's go on our end, right? Because we're doing everything on our end. We're going to Google. So, and I just typed in FinCEN, MSB, registrant, search. It's the first one. There's no ad, so it's not like we're getting to some weird back alley site that may not be the actual. I'm going to click on the first one. So the MSB registration number, I think I'm just going to grab this one that they provide us. All right, so I'm going to grab this number in this PDF. But okay, well, actually, let's try Intelligence Prime Capital. Let's see if they come up. Search. Okay, there we go. So we don't even need the number. All three of these, we just looked up the company name. So we can see here Intelligence Prime Capital. So this is done in the parent state of Colorado. But then we can see here the MSB activities covers the rest of the states. So I guess that's how they have this going, where it's under one state and then they put the rest in the states of MSB activities. So we can see here, let's see. So the MSB activities it's telling us is 409 and 415. So if we look up here, this asterisk MSB activities, so it gives us this MSB services key list. So let's look up these two activity codes that are listed. So 409 and 415. So after clicking that, so it's saying money transmitter and then dealer in foreign exchange, which I believe is what we are doing here, right? So that seems to be relevant. We can click on the name here, and I got a PDF download, and I think this is, yeah, this is just the official, this is what they show on this PDF slide. So that all looks legit, guys. So which means that they are able to legally do the activities that they are doing in the US safely through FinCEN, which covers the foreign exchange, kind of the what we're doing here with Intelligence Prime Capital. All right, so we can verify that one on our end. Here is another big one. This one, so this is new to the PDF. If you watch my first intro, this was not included. This actually happened recently on December 20th. So before Christmas, nice little Christmas gift in regards of information. So this is about the Australian Securities and Investments Commission, so also known as ASIC. If you guys are familiar and have been in Forex, broker regulations, ASIC actually is a top known Forex broker regulator. So let's just read a little bit about what ASIC covers. So they regulate registered companies, financial markets, and providers of financial services and credit services. So they promote fair and efficient, they aim to promote fair and efficient financial markets. Let's see, support confident and informed participation by investors and financial consumers. See, they issue financial licenses and monitor businesses that provide financial services to ensure that they operate efficiently, honestly, and fairly through the Australian Financial Services Licensing System. Let's see, provide services in relation to financial products, including regulated emissions units since July 2012. Maintains a register of Australian Financial Services licenses and authorized representatives of Australian Financial Services licensees. Also responsible for the supervision of operators of financial markets, operators of clearing and settlement facilities, and of financial market participants. So these guys cover quite a bit in this space. And I know, so really, like, in short, ASIC, when it comes to Forex brokers, they're making sure, and you can see here that there's fair and efficient, or where is it? Efficiently, honest, and fair. So obviously, if something fishy was happening within the broker that is regulated by them, that's what they're looking at. And I've even seen, and just because these guys are regulated by ASIC doesn't mean we're clear out of the water. It's 100% guaranteed we're going to the moon. Everyone's going to be millionaires, billionaires by next year. Because stuff could still go down afterwards, but the important part is ASIC is there to look at what's going on, and if something smells fishy and is fishy, they are the ones that are already in the weeds. They have the details. Their Intelligence Prime Capital is getting periodically audited and checked by ASIC to make sure that nothing is out of the ordinary. And if it is, they're going to get called out on it. ASIC's going to come down hard. And I've seen other brokers, actually it was just one, because one of my downlines sent to me, that got called out. ASIC removed their regulation stamp from them, their certificate or whatever it is that they're being regulated by them, and said, hey, we're seeing some Ponzi activity. This is for another broker. This is not for Intelligence Prime Capital. But I'm just letting you guys know, if there is a regulator to actually know factually what's going on and to claim it, it's going to be ASIC. To go back to these other certificates here, FinTrack and USMSB, I look at these more as independent regulators. And I think it even says here, independent agency, yeah, for FinTrack. But this ASIC, these guys are really up in their faces with what's going on in MT4, with the funds in there, and they are the ones that are really, they're the big papa that he's going to bring down the hammer if something looks off. So that is their claim with ASIC. So like we've done before, let's go and look them up on our end. And I actually, okay, yep, I did. Cool. I thought I didn't look them, I didn't provide this search on my end. Okay, so I'm on asic.gov.au. If you just type in ASIC, it should be one of the top ones. But the search bar, because you guys can't just look up their registry number, register or their license number or their name. It's a little bit harder to find the exact spot to look them up. And it's funny because other articles that are being really negative about Intelligence Prime Capital, they're like, yeah, I can't even look them up on A6 site. So they claim that they're regulated, but they're not. So it's all a fraud, it's all a scam. And so I have search company and other registers in this top right search bar. I'm looking up search company and other registers. Hit search. Okay, and it's going to be this first one here. So if you notice this URL connectonline.asic.gov registry search, that's actually going to match up connect online registry search. It's going to be the same link. And so, but people said, well, connectonline.asic, connect online, that's not part of ASIC. That's probably their own site. This isn't their site. I'm just saying, dude, this is like you just need to know tech, like technology, websites, how things are hooked up. This is just a subdomain of their parent, so their parent site. So click this first one, search company and other registers. This is all coming from their site, right? We're not getting to some weird back alleyway, some scam site. So we're gonna get here to this page. We're gonna click on professional registers. And from here, okay, let's try the name. Intelligence Prime Capital, because this field is asking, I can use it to search their name. Now, this field here, they have registered with the authorized representative on their end. So we're going to click that one and we're going to hit search. Let's see if it shows up. There it is. Okay, this first one here, Intelligence Prime Capital. To make sure this is even them, we could instead use the license number that I think this should work. All right, let's try the license number instead to make sure, because it should only show one now instead of a bunch that had intelligence or whatever similar key names. So let's search for them with the license number. Okay, so here we go. Intelligence Prime Capital, PTY Ltd. There is the representative number. We can see the status is current. Oh, so here's something good to know. Now, this is legit. These guys are actually regulated. Before, if you guys followed me, what I was using before, a different PAM. Now, their broker, it looked like they actually registered with ASIC, but really all that they did was apply for regulation. Now, here we can see we have a representative number. We can see their status is current. We can see a licensee's represented. We can see the numbers here, the commenced date. So we can see was December 20th, the 20th of December, an AFC licensee appointed by number. So all of these are filled in here. We can look at this. Let's see what this PDF shows us. Okay, so then we get a kind of a more user-friendly view here of this of the regulate or the status of their registration. And so we can see everything here as well. If we want to click on, I think this is kind of just gives us the same information. Okay, yeah. So, and this gives us the licensee details. All of this, guys, means that they are actually regulated by ASIC. And guess what? We verified all of this on our end. All right, there was a few other things actually I wanted to cover in this ASIC regulation. So if you notice here, we can see that these guys are have the AFS licensee. And what I did, I think yesterday, yeah, yesterday what I did was I actually emailed ASIC to ask a few questions. Mainly it was around do you guys do any investigation initially to make sure, like just like what are you guys checking up front to make sure the business, the application, all of that, broker, MT4, everything is legit as can be. So this was their response, and they said when a company registers with them, they don't need to notify what kind of industry they're operating in, what business they're performing. They don't, and they also don't do they don't investigate a company themselves that is registered with ASIC unless a report of misconduct is received about it. So you may be wondering, okay, well, what do they even check then? So they said there are obligations that companies and licensees need to meet that are registered with ASIC. So before these guys can officially be registered with ASIC, they have to follow these three things the support team sent to me here. So it's general obligations, organizational competence, and then the AFS licensee obligations, which is what these guys are registered as. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'll include these in the description. This is just going to be a little brief of each one of these, and this is mainly before they can get registered. This is the kind of stuff that they're checking with the company. So I'm just going to go over this key point here. So this one outlines key compliance concepts that apply to all of the general obligations, describes what we look for when we assess compliance. So it's compliance stuff in here. Um, and then this first part here, maybe I'll just read this. So one of the general obligations is to make sure that the financial services covered by your license are provided efficiently, honestly, and fairly, complying with financial services laws, comply with conditions on your license, have adequate arrangements for managing conflicts of interest. So you guys can go through here. There's a bunch of different obligations these guys need to be meeting, and there's penalties and stuff that come into place if they are breaching any of these obligations moving forward. And then this one is the organizational competence obligation. And then this one says here, just kind of short, brief intro. The Corporations Act places responsibility on you to ensure that you maintain the competence to provide the financial services covered by your AFS license. So this one talks about the organizational part. So making sure managers and everything that you can handle and effectively, efficiently the running of your business, maintaining organizational competence. So we can go through, you guys can go through and check that ongoing compliance. So it says you must maintain your organizational competence at all times. So if any of these are in suspicion of being breached of the obligation, we can submit an investigation to take place, which that is what I did. I just wanted to make sure because they say here that initially they don't do an investigation of a company unless a report is sent in. So I sent in a report. I said, hey, I just want to make sure things are being done legit here when it comes to the MT4 trading and all of that because I do know that MT4 trades can be faked. I've seen videos. I know it happens. So these guys just got registered with ASIC. I want to make sure just straight up personally and I'll let you guys know as well if I get a response. I don't know how long it'll take. It might take quite a bit. Who knows? But just to make sure that as they go through and hopefully check that MT4 activity, that things are legit. But in general, these guys still are going through all these obligations. This last one, which is the AFS licensee obligation, which again they registered with that AFS license. This is some of the things that they are checking here. So it's financial requirements. So for example, solvency and cash, being able to pay debt, manager qualifications, experience monitoring, training, customer support, general compliance and risk management. Let's see, we have some HR stuff here, conflicts of interest, compensation and insurance arrangements. So they have all this information. They have like its own. All of these have its own like PDF. You guys can all check out. I'll include these links, but just so you guys can get a little bit of information, this was actually good for me as well. Kind of when people or when a company does get registered, like, what all initially is happening. So we can see here that they have to go through all of these three obligations for Intelligence Prime Capital, at least. So we'll see as well what comes back from my investigation report because I submitted that yesterday. And like I said earlier, I just told them, hey, if you guys can just do an investigation on the MT4 activities, making sure. I said, hey, we got 50 million client funds. Want to make sure everything is being legit. There's no manipulation there. To four trades, they're on the live server. Everything happening within that is being done legally, and there's no fake, illegal, fraud type stuff happening there on the back end that I can't see. I was actually told by someone, and I checked this. They said, yeah, well, you can easily check between a demo and a live server. And initially, I did it. I checked against another MT4 server, a live feed, and I was like, yeah, like these both match. There's no delay or anything. And then yesterday, actually, I was checking the demo feed, and it was like the exact same as a live feed. So there wasn't really any delay. So that kind of stumped me, and I couldn't really use that as a way to verify the live MT4 trade. So but good news though is they just got registered with ASIC, so we have ASIC on our side. They've had to have passed all of these obligations, send in all the right forms, meet the right requirements, and then I just sent in that last uh, cherry on top investigation report just to make sure, and hopefully we get some news back on that. So I just wanted to go over this piece with you guys so you can kind of see what I'm seeing. If you guys see anything else, great, let me know. More information is always great, but if it's more of speculation, all that stuff, all the what ifs, like I'm not really going to entertain that. These are the facts that I have that I can factually look into and throw a dart at. So I can't throw a dart at what ifs and speculation too much. It's just gonna go right through and not land anywhere. So there you guys have it for this piece. Now, let's go over into a little bit of the unknown because I get and I see some of this stuff, and honestly, I agree with some of the things as well. So let's go ahead and cover. Okay, here's some of the faces that they give us with Intelligence Prime Capital. Mr. Walter Steffen, CEO. You can read here kind of his background, and then one of the things that I see coming up is okay. So he served as the VP of the European Central Bank. Now, the company has stated the CEO, so Harry Offord, which I've been told is the CEO, if you guys remember from the Canada license, um, he's the CEO. The COO, Walter Steffen, both of those guys, I have been informed, are not public. Right now, they have not disclosed to be public. So if you try searching for them online, you're not going to find any information. I already tried. I think actually one of my downlines even tried doing an image search to see if they could pull anything up on this guy. But right now, if you try and find some information on the VP European Central Bank, somebody with the Walter Steffen, there's actually a Steffen Walter that does not look like him. And so people are like, well, that's kind of contradicting. Is it coincidence? Maybe. I mean, Walter Steffen, Steffen Walter, that is a bit of a coincidence. However, I asked one of the marketing consultants, I'm like, hey, like this guy, is it actually this guy over here? And they said, no, that's the current director. These are different people. And from what I've been told is Walter Steffen as VP, they've been informed it was just a transitional period. Nothing was official on the books. So that's why things aren't public there. That's the information that I have. And that's not the best information that I can give, but it's what I have to give you guys. If you find some conflicting information there, again, though, these guys aren't public as the COO. Um, I mean, it is. I don't know why they put VP on there, European Central Bank. I would assume that they would think that people will look that up and probably get confused with the Stefan Walter on there. But that's the information that I got, and it's not the best. So that's kind of something like, I wish I had more information on. But let's move on to the next one. The CMO, Dr. Val. I don't know how to say the last two things there. But anyway, so he's the chief marketer. Here's his experience. He's got experience, yeah. Like I'm not gonna read through all of this stuff, but he's actually currently the face of the company. There are some YouTube videos out with him, um, and he did a recent one for the holidays saying, yeah, wish you guys happy holidays. Thanks for being a part of Intelligence Prime Capital. Now you can actually search him up on LinkedIn. So if you do LinkedIn, Dr. Val, NG, and then it actually comes up as see what. So I don't know why that's different. But anyway, if we look on here, we can see a picture of him. It's gonna come up. Maybe it's not. It was before. Okay, so maybe not the picture. Um, try again. Why is it not showing? Okay, well, it's not showing his picture now. I mean, you can look up his contact information. Let's see. If you want to see his activity. So anyway, so he's on LinkedIn. Um, it actually goes back to around June when the company started. So I don't know, as part of this, they just want to make sure that they had some um, publicity out there. But if you wanted to look this up and at least verify on LinkedIn, you can verify the CMO. We've seen him on YouTube videos, and that's about it. So there's something for you guys in regards of like a face to the company. Now again, for this portion, like I'm not like 100% satisfied. But again, I've actually seen a lot of companies that work really hard to get their full staff, their faces and all of that. Like you can look them up. Their CEO, there's a webinar of them. And guess what? They still end up shutting down and leaving. So I don't hold too much weight to this section here. What I hold weight to is the certifications, the licenses, the regulations that they've gone through, that they've put their company through and got checked off on and received the okay for. That holds much more weight than me saying, dude, I can't find this guy online. Because like I said, I've seen plenty of platforms that have ended up leaving, and they've had way more information and way more that I can verify online that's more public. So, right, like me personally, it doesn't hold as much weight, but I at least just wanted to cover this for you guys, um, to be as transparent as I can, because as I've been with these guys for a month, yeah, there's things that I've been informed on that I've kind of looked into more from when I first started. So it's kind of as things go on, I'm like, all right, okay, well, let me check this over here. It just kind of popped up, so I want to check and see what's going on. So that's